Hello, rocket science fans. This is Mr. Michael, and I want to talk about the new 2021 Technic Pullback. This is the Gravedigger set number 42119, and it has 212 pieces in it, which allows it to make two different models. You have your A model, which is the Gravedigger, and the B model, which is this really cool Dune Buggy. And I want to talk about the Dune Buggy model here, excuse me, for a bit. Built that today in a time lapse, and it's a really cool build, but I saw some opportunities in here as a builder to improve on this model. First of all, I do want to mention that on the Gravedigger model, you see the stickers here. The stickers go on the first model, but not on the second model. So if you're going to build this, you don't want the stickers to be reflective on the second model. Build this one first. It would just make sense. I'm sure why they did it that way. Anyway, it's a great model, looks good. What I want to talk about is the profiling of this model and how it sets up. It is a Dune Buggy, which means it'll be going through dunes. And when a Dune Buggy goes through dunes, I'll put it on the box so you can kind of see the angle of it. When a vehicle goes through dunes, it's going to hit different things at profiles. So I saw this model and I looked under it and I was like, hey, there's a couple of opportunities to actually change this. So stay tuned during this video. I'm going to add in a few clips of how to improve on this model. And you can use that. Pretty easy move around elements. You can improve on this model if you want to change it to get it a little bit higher profile. All right, stay tuned and I'll see you for the next part. Okay, let's talk about how to improve or have an option for this Dune Buggy part. If you would just take off your front wheels, get those half bushings over there, save those guys. And I'm not going to put these half bushings on each time, so I'm actually going to put them in this top area so we can do some quick building. What I want to do is, this is the original position of your axle, your wheel and axle here. It's up higher. If you notice, there's actually a lower profile part here. Now, how much of a difference does that make? Well, let's find out. Let me get a piece over here to maybe do some measuring. This might work. Let's see, I'll use this for measurement. How about that? So let me put these wheels back on real quick. Bear with me. No, I did not pre-think that out. And we're going to use our box again. I think that'll be a great idea. And we'll have this part here for height. And it looks like we're about 2.5, if you may, under the front of that bumper for height. About 2.5. And right at 2 for the front of the bumper. So we'll leave that part there. We're going to take these wheels off quickly, get our bushings. I'm not trying to get this perfectly done, but I did see where if you put this axle, this goes back from this hole down to that hole. If you put this back a little bit, put your bushings all the way in, but just do like a finger edge part right here. And what I mean by that is if you put your finger in, I just put it to my finger stops, which will allow your axles to almost line up there. Or you can push it in just a little bit until it comes up to the top. It'll allow your wheels to be aligned well. And again, my wheels are not lined. Axle's not perfect, but I want to show you this. So now you can already see our profile is a lot higher. Let's do our measurement here. Earlier we were at 2.5 height on our brick, which was down here. We've actually gone up to 3.5 height already on our brick. And as you can see here, we still have clearance. It's really small, but you still have clearance inside of this flap here. Even if your wheel hits back and hits hard, it's still going to have good clearance. That friction's pretty good there. So it still looks good and allow you to get some ramp height, some ramp jumps and things like that without this crashing out, you losing all of your kinetic energy on a ramp. Okay, well, stay tuned for the next part, and I'll show you another phase I discovered as well. Okay, let's talk about the next phase of getting a different profile for the B model of the Monster Jam Gravedigger. So I'm going to take this axle off again, and this one is going to be a little bit more in-depth correction or adjustment. I'm going to remove the entire bumper, and I'll just do that by pushing these number 2 axles through. Get them right here, right to the edge. I don't need to take them all the way. I'm just going to push them right to the edge here and pull this front bumper off. I'm going to release this side, release the other side, push this axle through. I'm going to retain this spacer. Oops, dropped it. Retain the spacer. I was flying everything around. I wanted to put all these back together because I didn't want them to get out of the way. So bear with me again. Spacer parts here and the bumper part as well. Set that to the side. So this is the bumper and these are the bumper holders. And I just left that front open, so it's not going to have any effect on the front part. What I'm going to do here, here's an option if you want to just do a front wheel to the front. Put your front wheel in the front here, and it looks a little different. If you want to do that, you can have your vehicle have a real deeper, much deeper, like racing dune buggy. And let's see what the height is on that. I know you're like, well, you can't do a height there, Mr. Michael, because it has full clearance. Exactly. So before you hit a ramp or anything, your tires are going to hit first. So you have full clearance all the way down to any angle you want to. And these are not in the way unless you hit something at an angle part. So you just really push your wheels forward. And again, I didn't make a hole. I didn't adjust anything on the frame. I just took the front bumper off. And this hole right here is already available. And if you want to go down a lower profile, you can do that as well. There's a hole there as well. You can go down a little bit lower profile if you want to see that. Let's show that one also. I love finding those happy moments in a model where you can just adjust, add a motor, or do some really cool things like that. So again, Dune Buggy still looks good. Let me get my camera just a little bit higher. Sorry about that adjustment there. Camera a little bit higher. Still has that Dune Buggy slant profile. Looks like it's aggressive and ready to rock. And you have no bumper in the front. If you're doing some Dune, you probably don't want a big bumper in the front anyway. But that's just my opinion. So again, your fenders, frames, and parts are set back a little bit further. But if you're kicking up some stuff right there, that's still going to protect the driver inside. Okay, well, stay tuned. I have one more adjustment for you, and it's going to be a little bit more pieces moved as well. See you then. Okay, let's talk about this last opportunity I saw with this model. So, taking these wheels off again and our red bushings, and this one's going to allow some more adjustments. See these T frames right here that's kind of drop down here? Well, this is the original hole, and I saw where this can actually move forward, so you can do a quick adjustment on the fly. So what I'm going to do is just pop this. If you want to get your Lego separator in here, if you really can't get in, you can just get your Lego separator, get it in between these. Oops, that one shot a lot further than I thought it would. Get that part out, and you have this bushing, you have this peg inside here. Just pop that out. Maybe. There we go. It's coming. And what I'm going to do, instead of having these, this T go 1, skip a space 1, I'm going to put these two right close together. Still going to give stability. It's not really holding anything up much, and I'm going to slide them forward just one position. Get this one back in. And if you want to, oh, I put these in at the same time. If you want to take both out and then move them, you can. I'll give you a little bit more space, but it's still possible to do so. And what I've done is this is the original hole. And if I want to just lift that up one more peg, I can do that just putting it down in one. Again, you have that spacer there, but no worries. Let me show you what that looks like. And it works with the bumper. And that one stayed in. I did that earlier, actually. That peg stayed in, so it's a little bit harder to get it in there, but I will do it real time. Come on, Mr. Michael, get those fingers in there. And I like these Lego separators because they actually, oops, I just broke the rest of it. They actually allow you to get in there and get some pieces in. So we just slid this forward, one adjustment, no big deal. And we're going to put everything back, except for we're going to lower the profile by 1. And put these wheels on here, and I just put my finger in there and just get a little bit higher part there. I'm actually going to put my bumper back on, if I can remember to do that correctly on the video. I know, not in the video very well. So I can do that without pulling up instructions, I believe. I'm just going to put this axle in. And there, turn this down, this part back in, bumper back on, 3 holes on the side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, click it, oops, I missed it. Do I have something to release that back through? Yes, trusty separator. Didn't go all the way through, but got fingers to do that. Come on. Okay, you're like, why didn't you cut this video? That's fine. There we go. Okay, everything is back as it was, except for I lowered my profile down by 1, which will allow the leverage of that to go. Look how high that is. It's almost 4. Can you believe that? Okay, I'll release it all the way back down again. See, that's already all the way up 3 full. I'll take it back to the original hole so you can see what's going on. Here, back up to the top one. There, put the bushings back in. And here, box back close here. And put this back up. And we're back down to 2. So we actually went up all the way up to that height by just adjusting that one piece. So if you're looking at doing some faster racing, of course down lower, your wind's going to go over the top a lot better. But if you're looking at doing some jumps, adjust that part, put it right there, adjust it for the jumps. It's going to get some different bumps and different leverage, and maybe even do some different stunts. I'll be trying out some stunts later on, definitely without the bumper, or maybe with the bumper. Maybe it'll counterbalance it differently. But anyway, try those out. Let me know in your comments what you think about that. And if you see some more opportunities like changing the wings around in the back or doing some more adjustments, let me know as well what you've done. And let me know what kind of jumps you've had this do, and the Gravedigger as well. I'll be doing some awesome jumps with that later on. It's Mr. Michael. Have a great time. Keep engineering.